giver of happiness, O Lord. Please listen to our prayers. Save us, save us, save us. What is our prayer tonight? Bar bar varmanga. Everybody. Harish de Pad saroj anpayani Bhagati sada satsang Syavar Ram Chandra ki jai Sharanam बोले सच्चिदानंद परमेश्वर भगवान की जब चारों तरफ अंधियारा हो When from all directions there seems to be only darkness आशा का दूर किनारा हो Asha means hope. Dur means very far away. We begin this yajna tonight by remembering that there is darkness everywhere. Hence we sought out Kabir Das Ji's doha to remind ourselves of negativities in life. Who here does not know this bhajan? Raise your hand. If you know this bhajan, जब चारों तरफ अंधियारा Let me hear your voices. आशा How often have you not felt that you've lived in this life where there's no hope for you? दूर किनारा और कोई न केवल Call to him. फिर तू ही मेरा पार कर, फिर तू ही तेरा. Others may not want to come to our rescue. Have you never been in a moment of trial and tribulation where no one will ever be able to fulfill the desire of rescuing you from the very dark and deep abyss that we might sometimes feel that we have landed ourselves in? फिर तू ही मेरा पार करो. Who comes? फिर तू ही मेरा पार. With all your might, everybody sing. जय 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 कृष्ण हरे. जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे. दुखियों को दुख दूर हरे. जय 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 कृष्ण हरे. जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे. दुखियों को दुख दूर हरे. जय 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 कृष्ण हरे. तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे. विष को भी अमृत कर दे. तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे. विष को भी अमृत कर दे. पूर्ण कर दे उनकी आशा. पूर्ण कर दे उनकी आशा. जो भी तेरा ध्यान करे. प्रभु जो भी तेरा ध्यान करे. जय 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 कृष्ण हरे. जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे. दूर करे, जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे. We are told that, oh Lord, you can do anything. What can you do? विश्व को भी अमृत कर दे. Some will take these lines very literally. Pandit Ji Vijay was talking about our younger days. For as long as I can remember, we have been singing this bhajan. So again, I beg you, sing to him, because it doesn't mean literal poison that we inject. Poison is synonymous to difficulties, darkness. To stand up, to look at a situation that seems poison-like in nature, negative, one which you have been hit so hard that you feel incapacitated. Hey Krishna, Hey Ram, Hey Prabhu, to inject your life with the name of God, with that detergent, means you are able to inject your lives with light, to change even the darkest moment into the brightest one. पूरन कर दे उनकी आशा, जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे, प्रभु जो भी तेरा. Everybody sing to that Lord. जय 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 कृष्ण हरे. Sing everyone. जय कृष्ण हरे, श्री कृष्ण हरे, दुखियों को दुख दूर करे, जय 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 कृष्ण हरे. You will all repeat after me, please. Ram Anant, Ram Anant, Anant Guna, अमित अमित कथा कथा विस्तार. न मानी हरि, न मानी हरि, जिन्हके विमल विमल विचार. श्यामर रामचंद्र भगवान की, श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय. पूज्य पंडित देव जी, पंडित दिनेश जी, पूज्य पंडित विजय जी, पूज्य पंडित गणों, Pandita Deviyu, to our wonderful host family, our Yakkarta, to our Gandharvi Samaj, and to all of you divine souls. Permit me also to grasp this opportunity in extending hearty words of welcome to each and every one of you to this very first session of Ram Katha. I bid you Jai Shri Ram. Well, I will not accept that, Pandit Dinesh, because I grew up in this village, and I can tell you for a fact, Alayam Maut proper big. So let me hear you again. Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram. How are you doing? Are you doing all right? One word, Master. Let me hear you say that word. Master. That is a word that I grew up with, and for those of you who know me, from the moment I met this family for the first time, That was the most prevalent word of our meeting, Master. And here is where it all started. Master seems like a very small, tiny word. Its origin for me does not matter today. Its meaning has great, great value to our lives. Not just my life, our lives. Who is a master? A master is a great soul. Like the ones you have in your society today, who although and despite the difficulties that we will face in our society, the trials, they will stand up for that which is right, and they will bring the light for all of us. That is a master. What is a master? A master is a moment in life when you and I, despite the vicissitudes we face, despite the difficulties, despite how deep we have sunk under the water of this life, we take that situation and we remember that we are still at least above the water. We remember we are still powerful, we are still mighty, we still have the ability to rise above everything else that we face in life. That is why the word master is so applicable. So how are you feel tonight, Nat? Master. Shabash. Again, Jai Sitaram, everybody. And on behalf of this magnanimous family, permit me to welcome each and every one of you and to say thank you. Ram Katha. Ram Katha allows for the watering of the fields of the mind. Ram Katha fosters positivity and growth. Listen very attentively. Because gone are the days when all we do is think that these texts, these scriptures, these mighty, mighty oceans of knowledge are just books of the past. Listen to how powerful Ram Katha is. Ram Katha fosters positivity and growth. You tell me, in today's day and age, who does not need positivity and who does not want to grow? Ram Katha helps to foster and build better citizens of society. We could be from a Hindu background, Christian, Muslims, whatever it is our background is. That's how the Lord can foster a better citizenry that leads to a better society. Ram Katha is to the spiritual being what food is to the physical being. Who here does not like food? If you like food, then you know how important it is for your survival. What is the food for the soul? What is the food for the spiritual being? Ram Katha. Let me hear all of you say Ram Katha. I want to say how grateful I am as a son of the soil to have been given this opportunity by Chabi and Radhaji, their wonderful kids, Mataji, your entire family, for sitting to enjoy Ram Katha. Memories that I cannot share all of them tonight flood through my mind as I sit here and I see Auntie Priscilla. I remember Milk Nani and Nana. I remember the days when they used to grind everything they needed, and they used to make everything they needed. I remember what is called mool. Everybody say mool. Oh, my mama. Mool. And there's a reason why I started like this. Words like master, bhajans like Jai Krishna Hare, very, very olden things upon which, rather, you and I were built. The word mool is the main topic of our yajna. So again, mool. And as I sit here and I see and I remember my beginnings. Isha. I remember the days that helped us to come to the days we are in today. Raviniji? I remember long ago when all of us strive for a better tomorrow. And I want to ask a very pertinent question tonight. Panditji, in your hearts, in your mind, all of you, remember those days when you strived for a better tomorrow. Today, right now, ask yourself the question, did you achieve that better tomorrow? Or is it a constant struggle? Our gratitude should not be 50% only to this family for bringing us together in this yajna. They want to give thanks to God. They want to remember their mool. Mool means roots, the foundation, values upon which you and I were built. The very fabric of our being is based upon our mool. And if the mool is strong, then life is strong. If the mool is weak, then we have a very, very far way to go. When we sat to discuss this yajna, it wasn't last year only. The first time we met, they told me, especially Chubby, he said, Panditji, one day, right in Crabwood Creek, I want to build a house and I want to do a yajna to Sri Ram. And I want us to sit together and sing. He wants to remember where he has come from. He wants to remember all sides of his family. And so to his Dharam Patni, they want to remember where they have come from. Importantly, they want to give thanks for this life, for the struggles they have faced, and to follow in the footsteps of the great souls that came before them. So such an opportunity must not be taken lightly. Shall we sing a bhajan to Sri Ram? Yes, no? Oh, I talked a little bit now. Sit back, relax. I beg you, enjoy Ram Katha. Prabhu Naam ka bande Amrit tu chakre Shri Ram Siya Ram Jap. Dil se bole, from the heart, his name must be sung. Not with the mouth, not with the head. Don't think about it when you sing to him. It has to come from the stomach, from the heart. That is how you sing to God. Jo Shri Ram बनते उसके बिगड़ेगा जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम दिल से बोले जो श्री राम नाम पुकारो सब होशियार जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम. Now, can you all hear my voice? Give me a thumbs up if you do. As a matter of fact, raise your hands up, both of them. If your hands are working, raise them up. We have an exercise for you tonight if you want. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But if you want to raise your hands, raise them up. And I want you to do something tonight for me. I want you to let your heart pump a little faster. And how do you do that? Jai Raghunandan, Jai Siya Ram. Jai Raghunandan, Jai Siya Ram. Siya Ram. Siya Ram. Siya Ram. रघुनंदन की जय भक्ति भक्ति से सबको मिलती है शक्ति Siya Ram, Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Raghunandan की जय भक्ति भक्ति से सच्चे मन से याद करे जो उसको ही मिल जाती है जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम जय रघुनंदन Let's all help me sing this prayer. वो दिल से बोले बनते उसके अजी नाम पुकारो सुबह हो शाम जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम जय रघुनंदन जय सिया बोले श्री सीतारामचंद्र भगवान की राम काज the work of God never stops. It is truly a blessing to be here in your home, in your divine home, in this village, in the name of God, in the name of Ram. Ram kaj kin hai binu. Somebody complete it for me. Mohi kaha bisram. These are words of Hanumanji. And he says, how can I even think of resting when I have not completed the work of my Lord? It never stops. We can be sick, we can be ill, we can feel down, we can feel dejected. Ram Kaj, the work of God, must continue. One great soul said, to rest is to rust. He was a master. We will rest when our bodies are able to then take on rest, is what I say. In the meantime, let us admire and appreciate this Milan. Milan means a meeting. This very first night provides us with such blessings. A meeting, in fact, of this setting of this capacity and magnitude is no ordinary one. Hence, on this very first night of our Milan, let us give thanks to God. I want you to take your hands and bring them like this to your heart, everybody. Close your eyes if you have to. Thank you, Hey Prabhu, for this moment. Thank you for this home and its tremendously gracious and devout caretakers. Thank you for these resplendently humble and caring devotees of yours, O Lord, for these leaders of yours. Thank you for our bodies and the many faculties with which they are equipped to deal with the difficulties of life. Hey Ram, thank you for your Katha, Ram Katha, the very medicine which is so powerful that it alleviates our distress and is able to provide comfort as we traverse this journey of life and death. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bole Satchidananda Parameshwar Bhagwan ki jai. Mool. There are many texts, many kathas, many scriptures we can read from with awe-inspiring stories for us to follow. But there is no scripture, no katha like Ram Katha. And in no way am I belittling any other scripture. My focus is Ram Katha. Ramcharitmanas is the very essence of mankind's journey through all of life. Should any individual member of society, any society, desire to succeed in life, then Ramcharitmanas is a most profound source of information for that person to find progress. Any member of any society. Ram Katha, as a matter of fact, allows us to be grateful. We have to be thankful for life. Ram Katha inspires us to introspect, to look within, to take a moment and to look inside, to leave this world outside. Ram Katha explores the options that you and I are presented with in life. In other words, there isn't only one way, one path, one journey for us. We might all be living in the same area, but we don't all have the same difficulties to deal with. We have more, we have less, we have equal. Some of us have different things. There are different options for us. What works for Auntie Rita may not work for me, may not work for Uncle Dewo. What works for one person may not work for the next. Ram Katha allows us to recognize the fact that life has many, many roads to follow, many pathways, many options. Ram Katha allows us to recognize our blessings. Ram Katha allows us to accept our faults and our limitations. Faults. Speaking of faults, how many of us are not ready to find faults in other people? You know what Kabir Das Ji said? Bura jo dekhan mein chala. I set out one day, Kabir Das, to find a bad person. So he set out to find a bad person. This is a true scientist of humanity. A scientist is a person who does not sit behind closed doors and waits for the answers to come. They start to look, they start to meddle in life, to find what will go wrong, what is there. And what is there means that they can recognize now that something is not there, something is missing. To find what we cannot know, we have to recognize what we know. Kabir Das, she says, I set out one day to find a wicked person. Bura jo dekhan mein chala, bura na milya koi. Having searched far and wide, I couldn't find find a wicked person, a bad person. But his experiment gave an answer. Jo man khoja apna, to mujhse bura na koi, mujhse bura na koi. Shri Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai. Having conducted my experiment, Kabir Das ji said, I found that there is no more wicked person in this world than I am wicked. I am the most wickedest person there is. These are words of a saint, a person that you and I may not even recognize. We follow their teachings every day of our lives. And this is what he has to say. Ram Katha allows us to accept our faults and limitations. Progress is no progress at all without first recognizing that there are difficulties ahead of us, that there are faults and limitations we have within us, without us. We have to deal with them. We have to accept them. That is what Ram Katha is. Ram Katha allows us to construct. It provides us with the very knowledge necessary to construct the very bridges you and I seek to cross. Shabash. It allows us to define our standards of living. Don't allow other people to tell you how to define your own standard of living. Ram Katha gives you the freedom and the power and the might to define your standard of living. As a matter of fact, Ram Katha gives us the secret of how to set goals, very great goals, and how to work assiduously to achieve such goals. Swami Chinmayananda ji, you know what he said? He said, set such high goals for yourself. Set such high goals for yourselves that they seem practically impossible to achieve. That your goals seem unachievable. Why? Achieving the goal is not the goal. Achieving the goal is not the goal, but striving to achieve the goal. That is the true goal. Set your goals, define your standards of living. Dan, give charity. By setting up this yajna, you are providing such blessings that I have outlined for this entire community. You're giving charity. Come tomorrow morning, we're going to provide to the children of the community as well as others. Ram Katha allows us to earn the highest of wealth while soaring through the highest of plains at the lotus-like feet of God. In other words, Ram Katha allows us to dive to great heights at the feet of God. And so, friends, it is my profound honor to introduce to you our main topic in Ram Katha, Mool. Everybody? Say Mool. And what does Mool mean? It means roots, the very foundation. And it could be taken in the context as the values upon which you and I have built our lives today. Such values, they're called Mool. Ram Katha seeks to remind us distinctly of our Mool and of those foundational values upon which we are built. Remembering our roots and where we have come from is imperative to our success and of our future in life. Remembering those souls, those people, who here can sit and tell me today that they cannot give thanks to at least one person in their mool, in their history, in their roots for where they are today? Anyone? Remembering such souls whose vitality, by whose grace and mercy and might, we are able to sit here today and express life in our own ways. That is what Mool is. To remember such situations in life where we found ourselves, where we found our identities, where we were able to find our power, where we brought our own light to the darknesses we faced. I'm humbly requesting that to remember our moves is to set our goals for progress. To remember our foundation is to set ourselves up for a successful path ahead. We don't have to always look back, but we must take some time to remember, in other words, where we've come from. I'm humbly requesting, remember everything. Don't just remember the good, remember the bad too. Remember the really, really bad times. Sometimes it hurts to do so. Remember the triumphs, the defeat. Remember the successes. Remember the failures. Plenty of frightening failure, Pandit. Dipak ji, especially oh my mama. Hear this? Dipak ji, one day he came to me. Rahul, he said, Rahul is telling him, I'm going to give you $1 million to start the business you want to start by. Dipak ji said, no, I don't want the money. He came to tell me, Ajay, I didn't accept the $1 million he gave me. Because I've done it so many times. I want to start this business. It is my passion. I want to make cane juice and sell on the road. It's my passion. It's the one thing I know how to do. And this man is even giving me $1 million to start my business. But I've tried it. 2 years ago, I started the same business. I failed. I tried it 5 times and I failed. So I looked at Rahul and said, Rahul, you have a good friend? You still get $1 million? You don't want to pass it up to me? You're offering this man $1 million and then he's not taking it? But then I told Dipak, I said, for every time you have failed, you have become one step stronger. Every failure is like a building block to the road or on the road to success. As a matter of fact, you know what the key to success is? The key to success is failure. We cannot succeed until and unless we have failed. When you fail, try and fail again. And fail again, because there might be apprehension and even fear in not knowing which doors to open next. But there is great power and great comfort in knowing which doors not to open again. So as many times that in my little scenario that you may have failed at starting that business that you wanted to start, as many times you may have failed in doing something that you really love to do, do not become dejected. Look at your failures. The failures are in the past. Don't dwell in the past, but use the failures to help you to build a ladder to your success. Know which doors not to open. It is important to approach also, while we talk about the past, to approach it with caution. We must approach the past with caution. Like I said earlier, what worked before may not work today. We have to be cautious. What may have worked for societies very, very long ago may not necessarily in the same manner work for us today to deal with our difficulties. Every age comes with different problems. They take different faces. Our difficulties multiply. That is why if you take a moment to look at our history, you will see in every age a different leader. Great leaders have risen up from the ranks to help us to find God and to deal with our difficulties. And all of them, they have their own methodologies to deal with life's difficulties. So as you and I take a step back, look back into our roots, we must be cautious to not be in such a boat where we are bringing with us all the solutions that worked in the past as well. They may not have worked. Some of them could work today. Some of them may not work today. But we must look at all of them regardless. Good, bad, right, and wrong. Everybody's with me? Jai Shri Ram? So I urge you, take a moment. As a matter of fact, I want you to do so now. Anyone, if you so desire, remember one person. Just say, if you want to say it verbally, I would challenge you today. Name, one person in your life. I will start with my Yajna. I'm going to put them on the spot. I'm going to start with Chubby. Name one name, someone in your past, someone you consider to be a part of your mool, whose vitality and love and grace and might you are grateful for today, who has brought you to where you are today. One name, just one. Doesn't mean that the rest of them do not matter, just one name. Just tell me one name. His grandfather, Nanka. Can we give Chubby a round of applause, please? Because I tell you, it's not easy to answer. Somebody else, one name, one word, one person in your life. Listen, we are not going to leave this yard tonight if you don't talk to me. So please, my beg I, one person you are thankful and grateful for. Yes. Auntie Kay, a round of applause for her, please. Someone else, another person. Dipak, oh my mama. Dipak, can we give Dipak and his crew a round of applause, please? We have to be grateful for those who have come before us to help us.
I'm grateful for my grandparents to bring us to come in their journeys that will make us and give us a
Shabash. Did everybody hear what she said?
Yeah.
Can we give her a round of applause, please? She's grateful for her ancestors, indentured laborers. Many people don't know our story, you know. Many people don't understand from where we have come. And that is the reason why Sri Ram has placed all of us together. To take a moment out of our very busy lives. You are wonderful people. You're great souls. I'll tell you, if you don't know it right now, Crabwood Creek is probably the most renowned city in this world, as far and wide as I have been. So very small part of the world. But nevertheless, in my world where I have been, everybody knows Crabwood Creek. Whether they laugh at Crabwood Creek is in the sense of its name, or whether they know a good person from Crabwood Creek, everyone knows that you are great souls. And some of us may not be from Crabwood Creek. Many of you are from different parts of this country. You've come from great souls, from Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, where the ancestors took with them everything they could use to build life. That is why the next time you start a class in the mandir, for the leaders who have mandirs in temples, let one of those classes be a cooking class. I always beg for this. Nobody know I listen to me. You know what we do these days when we have to go to a puja, especially in a country where the cooks are not so readily available like they are here, Pandit Guruji. They go and they send us a text message right afterward and they say, Panditji, what is a pera? I don't know how to make pera. I don't know how to make dal puri. And yes, people cook and sell and all of that. But oh God, I beg you, teach them how to make the pera. How many ingredients to make a pera? Something so simple. It forms our mool, you know. How many ingredients to make the pera? 2. Rahul, by Sunday morning, your job is to learn how to make pera. And if you don't know how to make pera, Dipak is not going to give you any of your share of the pera. Sri Ram himself made many stops. We reflect on the stops we made in life. The junctions that were so significant in nature. Today, by the simple close of the eye, we can remember those moments which were so profound that they changed the very fabric of our makeup. Sri Ram made such stops in his journey. And as we look at these stops, we set a goal to look at 6 of them. We have 6 sessions of Katha beginning tonight. Hopefully we'll get to all 6. We'll continue tomorrow morning. Tonight we will look at the very first stop he made. And hopefully by the end we will look at his reflection upon those stops as well. As he traversed his journey, very important journey, what were some stops, 6 of them that he made. And as he returned from that great goal of his, how did he reflect on the journey before him? Did he also encourage others to look at their mirror? Ajigana nayak kari varabadana kari varabadana jehi sumirat siddhi hoye Rama jehi sumirat siddhi hoye Rama gananayak kari varabadana kari varabadana karo anugrah soy Rama karo anugrah soy Rama buddhi rasi subha gun sadana subha gun sadana ayo mukha hoy vachan Rama mukha hoy vachan Pandu chanaya giri varagana giri varagana ayo jasu kripa sodayal Rama jasu kripa sodayal Rama sakala kalimanadana kali varagana ayo nila saruruha shyam Rama nila saruruha shyam aruna varij nayana karo sumamur dham Rama karo sumamur dham Sada kshir chagar sayana sagi sayana Kunda Hindu Samadev Rama Kunda Hindu Samadev Rama Kunda Hindu Samadev Rama Kunda Hindu Samadev Rama Kumaraman Karunayana Karunayana Jahidin Parane Rama Jahidin Parane Karam Kamarjan Mayana Hari Mayana Pandava Gurupad Kanjrama Pandava Gurupad Kanjrama Pandava Gurupad Kanjrama Pandava Gurupad Kanjrama Kripa Sindhu Nara Roop Hari Nara Roop Hari Mahamohatam Kunjrama Mahamohatam Kunjrama Jasu Bachan Ravi Kara Nikara Ravi Kara Nikara Jehi Sumirat Siddhi hoy Rama Jehi Sumirat Siddhi hoy Rama Gananayak Kari Varabadana Kari Varabadana Kari Varabadana बोले श्री गणपति भगवान की जय श्री सीतारामचंद्र भगवान की जय In the brilliant city of Ayodhya, Shri Ramcharitamanas Ayodhya Kand, in a room called the Kop Bhavan. Everybody say Kop Bhavan. It is a room specifically designated for certain types of conversations that should not be held and had around other people. Kop Bhavan. If you want to discuss things where the situation might get a little heated, there is a room like that. in the kingdom of Ayodhya, in the home of Dashrath. And it's a katha that is very well known to all of us. A conversation between Maharaj Dashrath, Maharani Kaikeyi. My question is, how many times have you heard of the katha of how Sri Ram had to go to Banvas? Have you heard this katha before by show of hands? Raise your hand, let me see. So not many hands went up. Some, I would say 50%. I would want to think that almost 90% of people here have heard of how Sri Ram, the eldest child, was supposed to have been crowned king of Ayodhya. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. He was promised everything, the kingdom, and by extent, all the kingdoms that were owned by the sovereignty of Maharaj Dashrath and his family. And then one day, the next day, he lost it all. As simple as that. Ray, Mommy and Daddy said, buy everything for you. And then the next day, then take away back. The question is, how would you deal with such a scenario? And you don't have to tell me. You have to think. Take a moment to think. We've heard these kathas so many times. Promised everything, and the next day, he's getting nothing. He's called into a room, and his stepmother, Kaikeyi Maharani, stands there and tells him, you will not be king, you will not get anything. As a matter of fact, starting in the morning, you have to lose all this nice clothes that you're wearing, the shoes, the slippers, everything, dress like a hermit with nothing on your feet, and live in a forest life for 14 years. Not even one day, not even 1 week, 14 years. This is the scenario. Now, I don't want to dwell too much on that topic itself, but merely to say that this is a dark moment. A kingdom preparing, busy for their Ram, their Sri Ram, to become their king. A household preparing. And then all of a sudden the news spreads that he's not to be the king. His younger brother, Bharat, is to be crowned king. Lost it all. How would we react? Look at my little finger here. I have a little ring here. Your husband and your mother-in-law made this by me. Little ring. When mommy and daddy left this world and gone, you know what I picked me to do? Mommy will promise me this ring. Not you, nice people. I thought it was somebody else. The amount of quarrel, the amount of difficulties, the amount of fighting. This was mine and that was mine. Imagine. This is Ram Katha, very applicable. Let's look at the roots for a moment. He was promised everything, and then all of a sudden it was all taken away. As a matter of fact, when he was called into this room, Tulsidas Ji defines and describes in his record the manner in which the words of this queen, Kaikeyi Devi, they pierced the hearts of Dashrath. And Sri Ram, as he entered the sun, as he entered the room, she did not hold back as well. What happened? Shri Ram कठुबानी सुनत कठिनता अति अकुलानी सुनत कठिनता अति अकुलानी जीभ कमान वचन सर नाना मनहु महिप मृग लक्ष्य समाना श्री राम जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय श्री राम जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय राम बोले सीतारामचंद्र भगवान की बेधड़क बैठी कहे कटुबानी. Our speech is of paramount importance in life for the success or failure of our relationships. Every single relationship, the relationship between the parent and the child, the relationship between parents and children, the relationship between spouses, between co-workers, brothers and sisters, any relation, our words are of paramount importance. The intonation we use, the rise and fall. Tulsidas describes here the words of communication by Kaikeyi Maharani was of such a manner that it was as though her words were like arrows and the tongue was like a bow. Arrows piercing, or at least trying to pierce at the very fabric of the sun standing before her. Pay heed to how you speak to each other, because if you desire success, your words depend on it. And if it is your goal for failure, your words also depend on it. But equally important, pay heed to how you approach a situation as well. Sri Ram is there. He's in front of his mother, his father. He never once considered her to be anything less than Ma. And although her words were so piercing like arrows, they were sharp arrows. They were not piercing him. They were piercing Maharaj Dashrath. Shri Ram listened attentively, assessed the situation. Our reaction is of paramount importance. Because although one person can come with arrows, it is now up to the other person to either fire back arrows or diffuse the situation. You are to lose everything. Nothing is yours anymore. Not only that, you have to go live a life where you can never step foot in a city anymore. You can't even put shoes on your feet. And you have to do this for 14 years. मन मुस्काई भानु कुल भानु अजिराम सहज आनंद निधानु. Shri Ram's response to the words of his mother, Ma Kaikeyi, it shows of an important task that we have in our everyday lives, if it is our goal to succeed. If we want to become successful members of any society, it starts at home. It starts in the individual being. It starts with us. Man muskai. Muskai means a smile, but not a fake smile. Not one that is on the face. Tulsidas ji is keen to say here, to denote that it is not the face that first had the smile. Man means the heart here. From within, from the heart, from within his being, in this context, Sri Ram smiled. He smiled from within, a genuine smile, which tells me that he's thinking about the words, he's thinking about the scenario before him, his father laying down in tears, feeling stuck. He's caught in a trap by his own words, his own promises, not knowing where to go. The son stands there and sees his father stuck, looks at the mother, requesting her right, shooting such sharp words. The son smiles with him, assesses the situation. Rama Sahaj Anand Nidhan. And he spoke such words that are free from blemish, that are sweet, that are agreeable, and that seemed like the very ornaments of speech. Anand means happiness, pure happiness. The words of Sri Ram instantaneously diffused the situation. And it is a scenario we are faced with many times in our lives. Kabir Das ji again. Aisi bani boliye. Oh, words, Kabir Das ji cautions us. Speak such words, O souls, O members of society. What kind of words? Aisi vani boliye, man ka pakho. Such words that will not let you lose yourself and your identity. What kind of words? Apna tan sheetal kare. Words that will bring peace and content and composure, calmness to our own beings. And what? Auran ko sukh ho. Siyawar Ramachandra ki jai. Sharanam Prabhu. Speak such words that will bring peace and happiness to other people. Otherwise, let your words sit there until those words no longer exist. Aisi bani boliye. And I always try to put myself in that situation, as I'm sure many of us would. Many people, not you nice people, somebody outside of this yard I'm probably talking about, would have resorted to violence, to fighting each other. But Sri Ram, he said, Sun Janani. I don't think anyone can compare to Sri Ram. Sri Ram is the very epitome of forgiveness, of love, of care. Suno Janani. Soi sut barbhagi. His very first word, listen, O Ma, O Janani. Who do we call Janani? Bhavani, Durga, Jayanti, Mangala, Kali. Everybody? Bhadrakali, Kapalini, Durga, Kshama, Shiva, Dati. Swaha Swadha Namaste. Bole Jagat Janani Durga Bhavani Mata Ki. This is the word, the title with which Sri Ram approached his mother. Suno Janani, listen my ma. Oh ma. Soi Suto Barbhagi. Such child is a blessed child. Jo Pitu Mato Bachan Anuragi Suno Janani. Blessed is that child who is devoted to the words of the parents. Blessed is that child who gratifies the mother and father and enjoys, feels happiness in fulfilling the desires of the parents. In one sentence, this is the first thing he said, in one sentence, he has diffused the entire situation. His father, who was stuck, started to feel a little bit more comfortable. Blessed is that child who enjoys an opportunity to glorify his parents or her parents. It might not seem like a very important thing today, especially for the youngsters, especially when you want something and you ask for it and you're not getting it, the world comes to an end. Only the parents know how difficult it is to make a decision and a choice that ultimately is for our betterment. And of course, we don't want to get too much into the details of this part of the Katha. But to say that Sri Ram, he not only speaks the truth here about a perfect scenario between parent and child relation, which we all know not always exists, because on both sides of the table, we have to earn each other's respect and love and trust. A perfect relationship doesn't always exist. But he cautions here. He says, if you want to be a child who is admired and respected and rare, considered to be rare. What is the word that he used here? Sri Ram said, Durlabh Janani Sakala Samsara. It is very difficult to find such a child who, despite whatever is happening around, they enjoy, they're devoted to fulfilling the wishes of the parents. Blessed is such a child. Sri Ram knows here that it will not always be so. But his goal is to immediately recognize the heat of hatred in the room he entered. He didn't know what was happening. Came into a room, there was argument happening, there were words flying like arrows, there's heat, there's hatred. His father with tears in the eyes, the mother even with tears in her eyes. And there's pain. So how do you approach such a situation? Do you continue to add the fuel to the fire, or do you try and diffuse it? And I feel this is the challenge that Sri Ram throws to all of us here in this world. A great challenge, one that seems very simple, but is extremely difficult based on our own experiences, I am sure, in our everyday life. He senses the helplessness in his father's dilemma. The king was stuck, as I said, by his own words. He was caught in that prison of his words. He was pitted, Sri Ram, that is, against his own brother, Bharat. Not only are you to lose everything, but your brother is to get everything. Is it worth it? Is all the wealth in the world worth it to lose the love that you have for each other? For your siblings? You can dig the grave as big as a house, and you can fit the house in the grave, and still when you and I will have left this world, we will not be able to take the house with us. We will not be able to take the wealth with us. And in no way am I diminishing any kind of things we have worked for in the world, but we must place on top, above all, the relations we have with each other and find in them some form of divinity, some form of love and care and respect. That even when people put us and pit us against each other, we will not allow it to happen. Because he was pitted against his own brother here by the cruelty of desires. Someone who just wanted something more. The more we get, the more we want. She wasn't speaking for her Bharat. She was speaking for herself. And this is a challenge by Sri Ram to all of us. In just one sentence, Sunu Janani, O Ma, he brought some comfort to the king. He brought some comfort to Kaikeyi Ma. And he brought light to a progressively darkening situation. What is his challenge? What is the challenge of Sri Ram? Next time you and I are faced with a heated situation, a dark situation, a similar situation, do not add fire to it. Try to diffuse the situation. And I'm not saying that you're not already doing so. It is just simply my job to remind us there is always another option to take. We might be angry, we might be upset, and these are difficult, really, really grave things. The scenario is very grave. But still, Sri Ram was able to say words that have meaning, that brought his own light. He brought his own light. And I want to say that this is the first step, friends. Any journey begins with a first step. Can't get anywhere until you start crawling. Every single journey begins with a first step. A push towards the next destination. This is the push, the scenario. To go, to live in the forest for 14 years. How does he approach it? What does he do? What does he say? How does he bring? He already said to them, how does he bring his own light? He said, I am blessed to have been given this opportunity to obey the words of my parents, to live the wishes and desires of my parents. This is called bringing your own light to any situation. And I want to say here vehemently that you all have light with you. No matter what the situation is in life, no matter what someone has said about you, no matter what thing another person has painted about you. Last night we were talking about painting a picture. Rahul, the next time you are given an opportunity to paint a picture about another person, what will you do? How will you use the brush and the strokes of your words to paint such a picture of another person? What kind of a picture will you paint for them? Think about it. Do we bring darkness? Do we bring light? घटा में छुपके सितारे फना नहीं होते. Yes, life will be dark. Life will be filled with difficulties. But when you look out into the life that you have lived so far, have you only always seen dark clouds in the sky? Anyone? Do dark clouds stay around all the time? Oh God, are you talking to me now? Do you always see that things are only bad all the time? Sometimes you will feel that way. Who can tell me who sings this song? This is one of my favorite songs. घटा में छुपके सितारे फना नहीं होती, अंधेरी रात के हो अंधेरी रात के, even on the darkest of nights, when things seem like you will not find the light, दिल में दिए जला के जियो. Even when you cannot see light around, light up the diya of your heart. Bring your light to the darkest of situations. न मुँह छुपा के जियो और न सर झुका के जियो. न मुँह छुपा के जियो और न सर झुका के जियो. गमों का दौर भी आए तो मुस्कुरा के जियो. न मुँह छुपा के जियो और न सर झुका के जियो. न नमो छुपा के जियो और नजर झुका. Stand at the doorways of unhappiness. Namo means unhappiness, difficulties. When another person will attempt to paint you in a bad picture, you stand up. गमों का दौर भी आए तो मुस्कुरा के जियो. Smile at them and live this life with that smile. गमों छुपा के जियो और नजर झुका के जियो. न जाने कौन सब मौत की अमानत हो. न जाने कौन सब मौत की अमानत हो. हर एक पल की खुशी को गले लगा के जियो. छुपा के जियो और नजर झुका के जियो. नमो छुपा के जियो और नजर झुका के जियो. गमों का दौर भी आयो मुस्कुरा के जियो. नमो छुपा के जियो और नजर झुका के जियो. नमो छुपा के जियो और नजर झुका के जियो. छुपा के जियो और नजर झुका के जियो. नमो छुपा. Do not live in silence in such a way that you've bent your head in shame. Na sar झुका. Don't live in shame. Rise up. गमों का दौर भी आए तो मुस्कुरा के जियो. Smile and face the challenges of life. Because as I started out, I asked a very important question. When you reflect on your mool and your younger days, the days when you were thinking of a better day, as you reflect on them today and in this yajna, on this first session, when you thought of achieving better days, you ask the question, have I achieved that goal? Do I have within my grasp those better days? Or am I still progressively working towards achieving my goals? I want to say here tonight that the goals of life, we are progressively working at achieving them. Because if we reach that goal, what are you going to do? If you achieve the goal, Pandit Dinesh, what are you going to do after that? Sit down and do nothing? The goals have to be so high that they're progressively moving, that you have to work towards achieving them. And the problems are also progressive. And I want to call to all of our attention tonight as we come to a close. If you and I believe that we live in a world where one day everything will be okay, one day there will be no problems, we're in the wrong world, we're on the wrong planet. This is called Mrityu Lok. Everybody? Mrityu? Mrityu? It is a world of revolving things, changes, constant changes, dualities, life and death. It is a cycle. And we will be happy one day and we will be sad the next moment. Don't wait for a day when everything will be glittery. Stand up now. Fight now. Yes, you have faults. Doesn't the moon have faults, Bhaiya? The moon has no reason to complain, you know. Everybody loves the moon. With all its faults and limitations, some people don't like the moon also. You and I, we must accept our faults, accept our limitations. Be okay with not being okay. Be okay with not being good one day. Do not expect that you must be good all the time, be okay all the time, be on top of the world all the time. There must be no difficulties at any point. Then we're living a folly and a fairy tale. Ram Katha allows us to be okay with our faults and limitations. It allows us to be okay with when things are not okay, with when we falter, when we make mistakes. But at the same time, we must be reminded that not every dark cloud stays forever. They have to go. They have to move on, that dark cloud. And very importantly, regardless of where you are in life and what stage you are at, you have the light within you to shine bright. So my challenge, that is a challenge of Sri Ram, is to bring your own light. Don't complain. Don't complain that as we bring the curtains to a close tonight to this Yajna, Sri Ram stood there and he expressed his views without any concern at all. He was pitted against his brother. You know what he said about his brother? He was pitted against his own family, the people of Ayodhya. He was told that he cannot live in any kingdom. You know what he said about living in the forest? You want to know what he said about living in the forest? You want to know what he said about his brother? Yes? Yes. Come back tomorrow morning and I'm going to tell you what he said about your brother. What do we say about our brothers and sisters? When we are pitted against each other, and sometimes it feels as though someone or somewhere is, when I use that word pitted, is because of a reason. It feels like though we're in a ring to fight a battle, a boxing match, and it feels like somebody somewhere is pulling our strings, so brothers and sisters cannot agree with each other. They cannot live good with each other. It feels like somebody's pulling our strings. Who's pulling the strings, and how do we approach each other? How does Sri Ram approach this scenario? Tomorrow morning we'll begin at 9, Pandit? 10 o'clock. Tomorrow we'll begin at 10 o'clock. The puja will start at 8. Panditji has done such a wonderful job in this puja tonight. We're very grateful for you. Thank you so much, Panditji Dev. And again I bow to Sri Ram for this great opportunity that he's given to us. I want to end by saying, stop complaining that God has not come before you yet. That light that I'm talking about, that light is God. Whatever name you want to call that God by that you love so much, call him the light within you and see how God appears before you. Koi na jaye kunj galin mein tujh bin kaliyan chunne tujh bin kaliyan chunne ko tujh bin kaliyan chunne ko taras rahe hain taras rahe जमुना के तट धुन मुरली की सुनने को. We complain, like this bhajan says, nobody wants to go to the river anymore and pray to you. Hey Ram, hey Krishna, tujh bin kaliyan chunne. Nobody wants to pick the flowers and pray to you anymore. We are complaining that, oh Lord, we are thirsty to hear your voice. Ab to darshan dikha de natkhat. Oh natkhat, hey Prabhu, show us your handsome face. Kyun dubida mein dala re? Why have you left us in this abyss of darkness and pain? Where are you? बड़ी देर भई नंदलाला तेरी राहत के भिजवाना. ओ बड़ी देर भई नंदलाला तेरी राहत के भिजवाना. बाल बाल से मोह बाल बाल कहाँ है where is your God? Where is your light? And it is easy for Panditji to ask that question. And I don't ask it in a condescending manner at all. I don't ask it to make you feel as though you're not showing your light. No, don't get me wrong. I ask it so that you can take a moment to reflect upon the mold on which you are built, the roots upon which you are built, the values and the foundation. Those values, remember them. Those people, remember them. Remember their smiles, because it wasn't just a smile on the face, it was a smile from the heart, as the Katha told us. And so too, learn to develop a smile that begins in the heart. And even on the darkest days, like Sri Ram, on this very first stop, we call this a stop because it is the one with which all the others began. On this very first one, and it wasn't a pleasant one, the very first stop that he made was the room, the Kopabhavan of his mother and father. And it wasn't a pleasant conversation. So despite the difficulties of life, I bring my hands together to all of you and I beg you, find your God, find your light. You have him within you. And it may not seem so right now, but take a moment to reflect upon the things that are tangible, that you can relate, that are relatable. Your families, your friends, your loved ones, those who have given to you what you have today, the vitality and strength that they have provided to us. That is what we remember to bring our light. So if at all anything that this Katha should give us tonight, it is to bring our own, what? Oh, no. Light. Bring your own light. Everybody say it. Bring your own light. Prem se bolo Shri Sitaram Chandra Bhagwan ki Jai. Thank you so much. Over to our most competent MC, Pandit Vijayji.
Friends, you will agree with me when I hand you over to Vyasji tonight that he has a jar filled with nectar for all of us. It's not the norm for me to repeat or reiterate what the Vyasji said. He bring it out so simple for each and every one of us to understand. So with this, let me acknowledge the presence of Pandit Dinesh Harilalji, and I'll ask all of you to kindly stand for the closing arti. Before we take the arti, I will ask all of you as we stand as a mark of respect to say thank you to our Vyasji. Prem se bolo Vyas Maharaj ki Jai. I don't think that's enough. One more time. Prem se bolo Vyas Maharaj ki Jai. Please.
Om Sajayam Chavarti Sanyuktam Vahaninayojitam Maya Deepam Grihan Devesha Trailokya Timiraka Yane Kane Chapapani Janmantar Kritani Cha Tani Tani Vinasyanti Pradakshina Pade Arati ki Jai Shri Raghuvar ki Dasharath Nandan Sita Varki Arati ki Jai Arati ki Jai Shri Raghuvar ki Dasharath Nandan Sita Varki Arati ki Jai Bhaj Ram 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 Sita Ram रक्षक करुणा करते आरती कीजिए। श्री रघुवर की दशरथ नंदन सीतावर की आरती कीजिए। राम 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 सीता राम 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 सीता राम भजे राम राम सीता राम 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 सीता। जगपति सुरपति दीन दयाला दुख भय भंजन हे सुख पाला। राम 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 सीता राम 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 सीता जगपति हे जग पंडित रघुवर दाता। हे जग पंडित रघुवर दाता। सतचित आनंद शिव सुंदर की आरती कीजिए। आरती कीजिए श्री रघुवर की दशरथ नंदन भजने राम 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 सीता राम 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 सीता राम 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 सीता राम 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 सीता। संग विराजे जानकी माए और संग में तीनों भाई। राम 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 सीता राम 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 सीता। जानकी माए अद्भुत शोभा बरनी न जाए। अद्भुत शोभा बरनी न जाए। शुभ माता प्रभु सुख की आरती कीजिए। आरती कीजिए श्री रघुवर की दशरथ नंदन सीतावर की आरती कीजिए। भजने राम 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 सीता राम 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 सीता राम 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 सीता श्री राम 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 सीता। भजने राम 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 सीता राम 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 भजने राम 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 भजने राम 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 भजने राम राम राम। नीलम्बुजग श्यामल कोमलांगं सीता संहारो पितुभामभागम्। पाणौ महसाय युगचारुचापम् नमामि रामं रघुवंशनाथम्। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरा। गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम। बोलिए व्यास महाराज की, सीता रामचंद्र भगवान की, सनातन वैदिक धर्म की, सब संतन की जय जय सीताराम।
Friends, devotees all, let me on behalf of this Yajna Karta, Mohendra Prasad and his entire family, say thank you to each and every one of you who have come out tonight on this first session, and to extend that invitation to you to come out again tomorrow morning and again for the other sessions. Please receive your arti, your panchamrit, your prasad. And may you have a safe journey home through the blessings of Almighty God. May God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much. And if there is anyone in our gathering here who would like to have something to eat, they have 7 curry at the back. Yeah, besides whatever will be passing around. Yeah, they serve in the curry. Whoever may want to have something to eat, you just go at the back. Thank you.
Someone took you. कोई न बनाई, कोई न बनाई, कोई न बनाई, कोई न बनाई। अब राम के बिगाड़ बात कोई न बनाई। अब राम के बिगाड़ बात कोई ना बनाए। अब राम के बिगाड़ बात बिगड़ गए लक्ष्मण बिगड़ा बिगड़ी जान की माई। राम बिगड़ गए लक्ष्मण बिगड़ा बिगड़ी जान की माई। महावीर रणधीर बिगड़ गए, महावीर रणधीर बिगड़ गए, चिड़ी में लंक जराई। अब कोई ना बनाए। अब राम के बिगाड़ बात कोई। गंगा बिगड़ी जमुना बिगड़ी बिगड़ी सुरसा माई। गंगा बिगड़ी जमुना बिगड़ी बिगड़ी सुरसा माई अंजलि के पुत्र हनुमान बिगड़ गए अंजलि में पुत्र हनुमान बिगड़ गए जाए लंक जराई अब कोई ना बनाए अब राम के बिगाड़ ले बात कोई ना बनाए अब राम के बिगाड़ ले बात कोई ना बनाई रामा कोई ना बनाई कोई ना बनाई रामा कोई ना बनाई अब राम के बिगाड़ल कोई ना बनाई अब राम के बिगाड़ल अब राम के बिगाड़ल कोई ना बनाई अब कोई ना बनाई रामा कोई ना बनाई कोई ना बनाई कोई ना बनाई रामा कोई ना बनाई कोई ना बनाई रामा कोई ना बनाई अब राम के बिगाड़ल कोई ना बनाई अब राम बिगड़ गए लक्ष्मण बिगड़ा बिगड़ी जानकी माई महावीर रणवीर बिगड़ गए खिल में लंक जराई गंगा बिगड़ी जमुना बिगड़ी बिगड़ी सुरसा माई अंजलि पुत्र हनुमान बिगड़ गए जाए लंक जराई बाली के सुन अमर बिगड़ गए लंका पहर जमाई तुलसीदास या चली आई तुलसीदास अब कोई ना बनाई अब राम के बिगाड़ल कोई ना बनाई अब राम के बिगाड़ल कोई ना बनाई कोई ना बनाई रामा कोई ना बनाई कोई ना बनाई रामा कोई ना बनाई अब राम के बिगाड़ल कोई ना बनाई अब कोई ना बनाई रामा कोई ना बनाई कोई ना बनाई रामा कोई ना बनाई अब राम के बिगाड़